Hi, this is Monica, and welcome back to my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. And today, I got a double feature that I told back in June. I just saved it so that I can show y'all some of the stories that was on my TikTok so that y'all can know how my stories go. So sit back and relax, and this is a double feature. I know y'all didn't think I was going to let y'all go through Saturday without a story time. It's 11:48. I can't sleep. When I'm like that, my sister's on my mind. So, of course, it's a story time about my sister Monique and how I truly knew that this motherfucker was a whole motherfucking G. Let's get into it. Okay, so Monique and Bubba have been together like maybe 20 years, maybe something like that, maybe about 19, 20 years. Well, keep in mind, they had moved into this little house down the street from me. So one night, okay, let me go back. Monique had always had two cars. Bubba always kept his own car. His car was down this time, so he was using one of her cars. So this happened it started like a week prior to the shit popping off, and this is what happened. So Monique had been calling me like, Monica, I think you fucking around. Okay, so I was working at this nursing home, right? I was working at this nursing home, and every day I would take the same route home. So this particular day, I was coming down the street, and I just so happened to see Bubba's best friend standing outside of his car, right on maybe 4 blocks from my job. I'm like, damn! I tell my best friend like, hey, that's Bubba's car. Like that. She like, is it? I said, yeah. I said, slow down when you get to the side of it. Now keep in mind, all I seen was the back of the car. When I came up, all I seen was his best friend Dummy standing outside. We don't call him Dummy because that's what the fuck he is, a goddamn dummy. Anywho, he's standing outside the car. My best friend slowed down and she get outside the car. Now me playing, because I know Bubba. Bubba has been in my life for all these years. I pull up on the side of the car. When I pull up the side of the car, I say surprise. And when I say surprise, a bitch raised up on the side of him. I'm like, oh. I'm like, pull off, G. G, pull off. We going down the street. Me not trying to hurt my sister. I don't say shit to her about what I saw with the bitch in the passenger side of his car. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So I called Jim, she dropped me off. I called her back. I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say nothing to Monique. I said, because he know he busted. I said, I'm gonna see how this plays out. So later on that night, he calls my motherfucking phone like, bitch, stay out my business, bump they walk, scooty boot. I'm like, oh, okay, bitch. I'm like, but punk motherfucker, you the one told on yourself, because I never mentioned it to Monique. Monique snatched the phone from like, Monica, what the fuck you see? I said, a bitch raised out his motherfucking passenger side seat. Since he want to motherfucking play games, I'm going to play it with him. So, yeah, I seen a bitch in a motherfucking car. I said, yeah, I see it. I said, Monique, I didn't tell you. I said, because I knew this dumb motherfucker was going to mention it to you because he thought I had mentioned it to you, but I didn't. I never said shit to my sister about it. But his dumb ass being so stupid, he the one mentioned it to her. So I'm like, oh, okay, dumb ass, you know what I'm saying? So me and him stopped speaking completely. Boom, cut him off. So maybe a week and a half went by. This motherfucker driving past my house calling me bitches and stuff like this, calling me all kinds of motherfucking names. Stupid bitch this, stupid bitch that. That's why your dude fucking around you. Woo, woo. I'm like, okay, it's cool. But at the end of the day, dumb motherfucker, you the one telling on yourself. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, Monique done went, and this dumb motherfucker then went to a barbecue at his mom and them house. So keep in mind, his mom and them close to my sister because she done had a baby by him and they done raised my oldest nephew. So he's still thinking this Paw, Grandpa, all this paws and all this other shit. So all Bubba's telling my sister on the phone is, oh, I'm at a barbecue, this. She didn't go. Okay, keep in mind, his car is down now. So he got her second car, which was like a big maroon car, like a Plymouth or some shit. But it was just her ride around car. But she also had a white Volvo that she drove. Okay, now keep in mind, her Volvo was at the house. His car was broke down inside the garage. So Monique had been like, Monica, I can't find my car. So I'm at my house. Monique called me like, Monica, I can't find my car. I'm like, Monique, all you gotta do is ride around. I said, just keep riding around. She was like, but every time I see him, he coming from around the corner. I said, Monique, go around the corner. Now, this is the last conversation before the shit hit the fan that I had with my sister. Okay, so maybe about an hour and a half go by. I get a phone call from my oldest nephew like, Auntie. I said, what? He was like, something going on with my mama. I was like, what you mean? He said, my mama ain't home. He said, my daddy ain't home. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I'll call you back. And this is my oldest nephew. I'm like, Pete, make sure that you call me. Make sure you call me and let me know what's going on. He like, Auntie, I am. I'm like, oh, okay. So later on that night, My mom calls me. She's like, Monica, I got to get ready to get Monique out of jail. I'm like, what you going to get Monique out of jail for? And she was like, I just got to get her out of jail. She's like, I explain to you later. I got to get her out of jail. I'm like, oh, okay. So this is what happened. Okay, this is what happened. Monique rode around and she rode to these apartments that was like 3 blocks from her house. When she rode to these apartments, she saw the back end of her car parked in the parking lot. Monique turned her lights off on her Volvo and she slid in. When she slid in, the seats was back in her other car. She couldn't see in the side. This motherfucker had this bitch in her car and they was eating the barbecue that he had brought to her from his mama house. So Monique pops out the motherfucking car. She's like, bitch, get out the motherfucking car. Soon as he see Monique getting out the motherfucking coming out approaching the other car, he pulls off. Now keep in mind where they was at is a highway right there by where they at. Now keep in mind, my sister got her car and she chasing her car. So now they on a high-speed chase, getting ready to hit the highway. So when they get to the middle of the highway, Monique start running her car into her other car. So he driving, he's swerving, and this, it attracts up. Now keep in mind, this dumb motherfucker that hit the motherfucking highway. I don't know why he thought that this bitch wasn't gonna hit the highway, because Monique is a motherfucking fool. She was gonna hit the highway. This bitch drove past her other car, busted a Yui in the middle of 75, and came straight for her other car. Now when he see her do this, he pull up on the side of the median. Now keep in mind, the police that saw Monique when she busted a Yui, so automatically that brought the police. They both pulled over. Monique jumped out the car. She starts swinging on everybody inside of the car. He never got out, neither did the bitch. She starts swinging on him first. Then she hit her. Then she hit him. Then she hit her. Now keep in mind, she had already wrecked her other car. She hit her car with her other car. Now she pissed. You know what I'm saying? So the police pull her off of both of them. Boom. They tell Monique, you won't go to jail if you stop hitting them. She like, oh, okay. They pull both of them out her car. She tell them, she showing the registration to both of her cars. Now they all standing out. Figured that both of the cars was Monique's. She told him that he had stole the car. Automatically, they getting ready to arrest him. They put handcuffs on him and handcuffs on the bitch. So when Monique see them both get handcuffed, she starts swinging on both of them. Boom, 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 boom. The police tell her one more time, like, hey, don't you hit nobody else or you're going to jail. She like, oh, okay. Soon as they turn it back, what did Monique do? She punched this motherfucker again. Boom. They arrest her. Now keep in mind, both of her cars are still on the side of the highway. By this time, I don't know shit. The kids don't know shit. My mom don't know shit. All those people know is Monique, the bitch, and Bubba. So they all go downtown to the county. Boom. So her cars are still parked on the highway. Now keep in mind, Monique got both sets of keys on her. All the shit that was in her car, barbecue and all, she threw the barbecue on them inside the back of the motherfucking police car. Monique is burnt. This bitch is on 11, okay? By the time we know it. My brother comes with the money, he gets my sister out. Boom. They drop Monique off at her house. She know that her cars are still sitting on the motherfucking highway. What did this motherfucker do? She can't wait. She called me like, Monica, I need you to come and get one of my cars off the highway. They both stuck on the highway. She telling me this whole story on the phone. Boom. I'm like, oh my God. So I gets up there. By the time I get up there, this is what I see. I see her white car coming down. It's halfway down the highway. She parked on the side of the road. And then she walking up and she driving her other car down. Now, she had did this from the middle of the highway. By the time I got to where she was at, which is it's on Abbey. The cross streets is called Abbey. She had made it to Danner and Abbey by the time I had got there. So when I got there, I drove her other car back to her house. Now keep in mind, Monique still got on the jail clothes she had on, ponytail crooked. This motherfucker that got out, his mom and them that went and got him, they doing drive-bys past her house. This bitch is still mad, no sleep at all. It's about to go down. Okay, so they driving by and all this other stuff. I don't want to be with you, the bitch pregnant, woo, scooby bop, whatever the fuck. Okay, so Monique is real calm by this time. Monique done broke open the bottle. She drink it. Boom. Now, keep in mind, when my sister drink, she is psycho. Now, when she's sober, she is psychotic. Okay, so now this motherfucker that got the juice in her, she mad. She takes all his clothes outside in the front. She was like, oh, you want to eat barbecue with a bitch? She throws all his clothes in the middle of the motherfucking thing, and she start pouring mustard and ketchup and goddamn barbecue sauce and goddamn lighter fluid on this motherfucker's car. Now, he see this shit. He like, don't you do that to my car? This bitch burnt up everything he owned outside this motherfucking car. She is still furious. Now, keep in mind, me and my husband just had started dating. Now, keep in mind, my husband had no idea that she had locked up with this crazy ass family that, you know, you shouldn't get involved with. Okay. So my sister tells my husband, like, hey, pick a TV out of So she calms down. My husband walks in like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to do with whatever's going on. My husband looking at me like, okay, what the fuck? She grabs the TV. Put the TV in the back of her car. Woo, woo. My sister is just this calm. She's like, hey, this is when I knew my sister was a G. She went and picked up a cinder block. And she just kept walking on and walking on and walking on back to the garage. Now, keep in mind, my husband is sitting there looking at her. I'm standing there looking at her like, what the fuck is she getting ready to do? This motherfucker stood up like Zeus on top of this motherfucking car. And when I say she lifted this motherfucking cinder block like goddamn Thor, this motherfucker held that goddamn cinder block up, and when it came down in that goddamn windshield, it took that whole motherfucking windshield the fuck out. Boom! She didn't hit this motherfucking windshield, and it came out. Then she put the car cover back on there so that he could see it later on in life. But listen to me. This is when I knew my sister was a motherfucking G. Okay, so after she busted the window out, everybody is in shock. Like, the kids are standing outside like, he calls her. He tried to talk to her, trying to calm her down or whatever the fuck. She tells him on the phone. She was like, oh, and you enjoy that barbecue with your bitch. She was like, because somebody done broke the windows out of your motherfucking car. He like, ain't nobody broke shit out of my motherfucking car. She said, bitch, I did. And she said, when you come around that corner, she said, I'm going to blow every motherfucking body away in that motherfucking car. The motherfucking moral of the story was he shouldn't have been fucking around in her fucking car. When I say this bitch was driving 2 cars at one motherfucking time, my sister is so much a fucking G. Listen, if your sister or your sibling, if you ain't got that one motherfucking sibling that's a motherfucking dog, I don't know what to tell you. Because listen, my sister Monique is a motherfucking pit bull. Listen, this bitch told him like, hey, your shit burnt up, your car fucked up, and you get the fuck out of my motherfucking double feature. This is a story about how I got this scar. Hold on, let me show y'all real quick. How I got that scar. See it? Because 4 bitches came to my motherfucking front door to fight me. Now, keep in mind, I was living in the projects. I had only been up there like maybe a half a year, not even that motherfucking long. But keep in mind, I didn't associate with none of these hoes. I did not know. Can't borrow no sugar from me. Nope. I ain't got no wash machine. Nope. I had all that shit, but bitch, you weren't using my shit. But keep in mind, bitches, these bitches that was in this project was ghetto as fuck. I mean, when they say they didn't like somebody, they didn't, so they honed in on everybody. Now, keep in mind, it was 4 of them. A white girl and 3 black girls ran this motherfucking apartments, okay? When I say that they were scared of them, they was only scared because the 3rd black girl called herself being a motherfucking bully. But listen, they wasn't ready for Monica. They just wasn't ready. The word around the projects was I was an STNA. I was working at a nursing home. I had this, I had that, I had my own car. But I wasn't fucking with them. When I say I wasn't fucking with them, I walked to the store, me and my baby. And he was playing with the other neighborhood kids, but I would always just sit on my porch, wasn't fucking with nobody. Okay, keep in mind, the dude I was fucking with, he was fucking with all of them. So he had been running back telling them all kinds of shit. Like, I'm doing this. She had this kind of shit, whatever. So the bitches would come, like, every now and again, like, you got $2? I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? They like, okay. But keep in mind, this motherfucker's talking out my motherfucking house. So he got these bitches amped up. Now, these bitches wanted to be in his face because he was a hoe. Ho. And it wasn't even fucking Christmas. This motherfucker was a hoe. Okay, but we're going to talk about him later on. Okay, anywho. So these bitches, one night, I was sitting out on my porch. Now, keep in mind, where my porch was at, I could see all 4 corners, and the store was behind me. Okay, so I hear a whole lot of commotion in the alley across. So by me sitting on the porch, I hear all this commotion and stuff coming from the alley across from me. So I mean, not paying no attention. I keep hearing my name, but you know, sometimes when you think you hear your name, you're not sure, but you keep hearing it. I hear him like, this bitch sitting out on the porch. This time we got her. She's sitting out on the porch. Now keep in mind, it's like maybe about 12:30, 12:45. Curtis is just went in the house or whatever the case would be. He's still up, but it's hot outside. I got air conditioning, but I wanted to sit outside. It's cool. So I'm sitting on my stoop. But my stoop had these red bricks that had broke down on the side where my porch was at. I never fucked with it or whatever the case may be. Now keep in mind, I'm watching them coming out the alley across from me. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, the crackhead cat came back like, they getting ready to jump you. I'm like, jump who? They like you. I'm like, for what? Because you ain't fucking with them, your dude around there, he instigating the shit. I'm like, oh, for real? Like that? I'm like, oh, okay. I ain't say shit. I'm still sitting there. I'm thinking of a game plan. Bitches, okay, now keep in mind, I told y'all it was one Caucasian lady, one Caucasian girl, and 3 black girls was with her. I'm like, oh, okay. I see them coming down there. Immediately, I start kicking the bricks loose on the side of my porch. Now, keep in mind, all they could see was the top of me. The bottom of me was kicking the brick off. So when I got the brick off, I slid it in between my legs at the back so you couldn't see it. And I put it on my right-hand side because I'm right-handed. Monique them is left. Monique is left-handed. I'm right-handed. Okay, now keep in mind, I knew if I had to call Monique, it was going to take her maybe about 15 minutes to get to where I was at. I knew I had to get these bitches, and I had to think of something to get these bitches with. So keep in mind, my baby is in the window looking at me. I turned to him, I said, Curtis, lock the door. I said, lock the screen door. He went and pulled up a chair. He's standing up in the chair in the window looking at me on the porch. I see a crowd of people heading my way. I'm like, damn. So immediately, my heart started beating fast. I know now I got to kill these bitches. I got to whoop their motherfucking ass. So it's the white girl, she like, with the big mouth, she mouthy, she coming up on me. She like, yeah, bitch, you think you something, this. I'm like, listen, I don't know y'all. Y'all don't know me. Whatever the fuck. Just keep that shit going, okay? Because I don't want no shit. I said, it's just me and my baby up here. Now, keep in mind, the dude that I was fucking with was standing in the back of the crowd watching all this shit play out. Okay, so the bitch is steadily coming. When I see her coming, I reach underneath where my leg was at. I stuck my hand. Now, the brick, I'm going to tell you what the brick look like. It's the red bricks that got the three holes in the front, the 3 holes in the center. I stuck my hand down in the motherfucking holes. That bitch ran up on me. When I tell you, I brought that motherfucking brick up and I bust that bitch in her motherfucking mouth. Bitch, you out of it. Busted her in her fucking face from here down. Bitch, that made 3. So the other bitch came up on me. Me and her start fighting or whatever the case may be. I grab her. Me and her fighting or whatever the case. I'm fucking her shit up. It's going down up in this motherfucking project. Now keep in mind, I told you about the crackhead that had already told me. Now this crackhead, I had been giving her money for like taking my trash out and stuff like this. She saw the fight break out. So when she saw the fight break out, what did she do? She grabbed the pipe. And when she grabbed the pipe, she hit the girl that I was fighting with. That made 2. Now, keep in mind, these bitches that ran up on me, when I say they ran up on me, they ran up on me. I'm fighting these bitches. I don't give a fuck. All I'm thinking is, Monica, you got to defend yourself. Monica, you got to defend yourself. When the fight broke up, when the dudes came around the corner like, this is dead motherfucker wrong. Told the dude that I was fucking with, you ain't shit, and this and this. When I tell you that when they pulled us apart, I felt something warm coming down my arm. When I turned around, the bitch had stabbed me, had cut me here, had cut me there, and stabbed me like right above my thigh, like going towards my groin. She had stabbed me right there. Now, by my adrenaline running, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I rip my dress and I go ahead and I tie my arm up. I called it. The ambulance get there, but it's 2 ambulances. The ambulance for the bitch that I hit in the mouth with the brick. The ambulance looking at her. They looking at me. We get to Miami Valley Hospital. When we get to Miami Valley Hospital, I'm in one part and they in the other part. These bitches press charges on me. We go to court. I got 300 stitches in the inside of my arm and like 150 on the outside. I got stabbed in my groin, which wasn't no real. It just made a little scab or whatever because the knife wasn't really big. It was like a kitchen knife or some old shit. We get in front of the motherfucking judge. The judge asked them like, okay, what happened? The bitch tell them her jaw wired. I'm fucked up with the arm is fucked up or whatever the fuck. They asked the girls first, like, what happened? Because they press charges on me. And keep in mind, in DMHA housing, when you get to a fight like that, they're going to put us all out. They put us all the fuck out of there. Okay, so when I went before the judge asked me, like, man, what happened? I told him about what happened. He said, so you need to tell me, y'all took her to court because y'all 4 jumped her. They said yes.